What's up?
Everything, everything. What's happening with you, Anya?
Something like that. What
Oh,
about you?
doing well, doing well, doing amazing. You look, I mean, geez, like I love the color, that color on you, the color contrast. I love the blue.
I feel really really lately like in the sky somewhere, a bit more higher than the ground. That's why this is really thematic for me today. Like
Okay.
so loud.
Does every day have their own kind of individual theme that you kind of go, in with with a thematic attire, like a wardrobe, like something that you feel into it?
Yeah, of course, every day is pretty different, but most of the times I just randomly take intuitionally what I feel. I don't have like an intention for that always. But when I need to go out somewhere to have, like exclusively to show off my character, then of course I think about it a little bit more. But usually it's pretty random, don't have any intention, just intuitionally dressing myself.
Intuitionally dressing. I love that. It's interesting because, if you've ever been to like events, like there's places that people will go to, like Comic Cons and cosplay and, Renaissance fairs and like places where people dress up and people just kind of go into a role or get into a character. When you say like showing off your character, what do you mean when you say that?
I mean, just being proud of who you are, and just slay a little bit. And I really like, I'm not going to hide, I really love attention and I love when people stare at me and I feel really, I don't know, it's some kind of satisfaction feeling even in a way. But I don't know, I know it's coming from the ego maybe, but I feel that it's, for me, it's healthy in a way because I get more creative because I want to get that feeling. And it kind of opens my creativity towards fashion and design and just style and overall. So yeah, thank you for asking. It's really interesting. Never thought about
Absolutely, absolutely. You have style, It's got its own flavor. You have your own seasoning, you know. It's got its own reasoning, you know.
it.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause,
You have
you know,
to, by
go
the
ahead.
way. You have your own seasoning, but too. But I love your dreadlocks so much, and the black style as well. Really nice. The coat and everything. Really cool.
Blessings, thank you. I've worn the same thing for I don't know how long. Minimalism for me has been totally new. I used to have multiple shoes, multiple outfits, multiple clothes, multiple hats, multiples of everything. And now, I can fit everything in a small little bag that I travel with, whenever I go on planes or on trains or whatever. I just have a little, just a small little duffel, and that I fit all the things that I have into it. It's never for me, it's never been like that. So I love because last time we talked about how you nourish the ego, you flourish the ego, you allow your ego to blossom and bloom, you give it room, you give it time, you give it love, you give it attention. And when did you realize in your life that you really enjoyed that energy, the energy of attention, the energy of that attentiveness coming from another being outside of you?
Mhm. So first of all, I'll start with the fact that losing your ego is also a good thing, and you can also fall into a trap by, just being a victim to your ego, which is also not really good, I think. But as soon as you kind of understand that we're all united and we're all living in this one organism that's called the Earth and we're all connected in a way, then this kind of attention from different people it feels like you are just saying like a shout out to yourself, you know, from a different part of yourself. So it's it's just really nourishing for the heart to get not even like approval from other people, because that's, I think that's a bit toxic if you think that you need to have an approval from someone, yourself. But it's really nourishing that people actually support what you are doing, even though it's a negative thing. It's also a support for me because it grabbed an attention and it stayed in the head of that person. And for some reason, I feel that even if it's negative, then it still kind of impacted that person. And my energy, I feel it not might not be that toxic maybe for people. So it's good to exchange with energies in this certain way, that maybe I am dressed in a certain way and people look at me, but they kind of get my energy, you know, and it's cool to exchange. Yeah, so I get for the exchange of that thing,
Yeah,
energy.
to-
Yeah.
totally. You know, and I don't see it as toxic either. You know, your vibe, you know, it attracts your tribe, right?
Yes, yes, that's the thing. And I think that the more you become yourself, the more you become creative with expressing your true, authentic self, then you get to attract more people who are in the same vibration and in the same kind of a vibe that you are. So it's definitely a good thing to do that.
Mhm.
Express. And even like in a minimalist way, you know, you attract your minimalist kind of friends or people. So it's also good. And I have like a really quick question for you. How did you decide that you want to have like a minimal amount of stuff, minimal amount of clothes, and you know, to go towards that mindset of a minimalist?
Mhm.
What pushed?
Yeah. Great question. Great question, Anya. So, you know, years ago, like I said, I was very indulgent in certain things. I mean, my life was very complex. I wasn't used to simplicity. You know, I wasn't used to blessings. Blessings. We got family in here. Much love. Shout out Abby Marie, Lady of Chi, and we got Ariana in here too. Much love. Listening is a great way to begin the day. Yeah, excellent. So, you know, to answer your question about minimalism, what pushed me or what prodded me or what kind of, you know, propelled me in this direction? First, there was a friend that I had, and this was in college. This was back probably around like maybe 2012, 2013 maybe. And
Mhm.
he was in my theater class because I went to school. I got my bachelor's arts in performing arts, so performance theater. So that's what I got my degree in acting. And we were in acting class together. We would be in scenes together. We would be on screens together. And I remember that there was 7 days out of this year that he went 7 days and he wore the same outfit for 7 days and he fasted for 7 days. And I asked him, why did he do that? Because for 7 days he didn't eat anything
Mhm.
and he wore the same clothes. And this is somebody who, I mean, now he's got fashion out the wazoo, like he's famous out the wazoo, like he's like a fashion mogul, like an icon now. You know, he's got bundles and clothes of suitcases and suitcases. But during this portion of his life, he went a whole week without, without changing his clothes, wore the same clothes. And a lot of people would be self-conscious about that, like, I wonder what people are thinking. I wonder, the judgment and the wave of the negative, the, like, what are people thinking about me? But he said
Mhm.
his reasonings were he wanted to get closer to God. That's what
Oh.
I never forgot this. He said, I wanted to get closer to God. I was like, that's why you did that? He's like, yeah. And that's the only reason he gave me. That's all. He just left it like that. And so that kind of piqued my curiosity. And then when I went to California from Texas, I had boxes and boxes of books. I wasn't reading. I had games. I wasn't playing. I had movies. I wasn't watching. I had clothes. I wasn't wearing. I had, things I wasn't doing anything with that energy.
Yeah.
And then was around these monks and these people who taught me more about energy and about meditation, it just really got into my heart and my mind to find out what could happen if I let go of certain things.
Mm.
And so they said, just put a box in the corner, and if you don't go to that box for a month, just give it away. And I tried that, and then I tried it again, and then it felt better, and then I tried it again, and then a weight lifted. I felt better. I tried again, and then something shifted. I felt better, and I kept going. I kept going, and then it became like a game. Then it got fun. Then I was like, okay, if all this stuff happened just for letting this stuff go, what else could happen? What else can I let go? Do I have anything else around here that needs to go? Like let me get this out of here. Let me get this out of here. Let me get and every time I let something go, something else came in to my life that had not been there before. It was almost like I was energetically, I was making space for something new to come in. And that started me on this path. So yeah, I'm just learning. I'm just a student. Yeah.
Mind blowing, honestly. And I, of course, I can relate to you because I've been getting free of my old stuff, especially like moving really often. It
Mm.
kind of encourages you to get rid of certain stuff. And I feel that, as you said, like getting rid of something and letting go of something actually opens a new door for something to come in. So it's a really beautiful experience that you have there with your transitioning to a more minimalist lifestyle. I'm like a maximalist in terms of clothing, but I really love to give away my stuff. I give away to charity. Like I think at least once a month, like a really big chunk of clothes I just give away. And I love to give the opportunity for people to wear clothes that I don't maybe resonate with, but they're good clothes, and I know, but I feel like selling stuff is not for me. I'm really bad at it, and as well, I want to give people opportunity to actually wear something, and not just clothes. Like, it's about all of the items. It's really cool too.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting because, like I spent some time with Abby. Abby's down here, in the comments. And I remember we went to a mall. You probably remember this, Abby. We went to a mall together and we were in this store and I didn't even think anything of it. I was just with her, just having fun. We were just having fun. We went to this place and there was all this soap and these extravagant items. And then we went to this place. There was all these jewelry and purses and all these items. And then we went to another place and then we went to another place and I wasn't getting anything. I wasn't buying anything, but I wasn't conscious of this. I wasn't even aware of this. She was aware of this, and she was like, Jerome, you just like nothing touches you. You don't, you just look so self-sufficient. Like you don't, you're not tempted by any of this. Like you don't want anything. You don't need anything. I was like, nah. She was like, are you, do you feel bothered that I'm like buying this stuff? I'm like, no, do you, do you, So it was just funny because she brought it to my attention that I didn't need anything. I was just there having fun. It was like we were high on our own supply, you know? But that never would have crossed my mind. So what I love about you and your outfits, your theme, and what it all means, there's things like that feel influenced by certain things, like for instance, Japanese anime. You
Mhm.
know, like when did you really get into Japanese culture, anime? Like, what are some of the influences that you really enjoy? Yeah.
Okay. Wow, the big question. I'm waiting for an interview for years. So, about the whole anime culture and the Japanese culture, I've been that since my childhood, I think, and the first anime, and it's still my favorite once and for all anime that I ever watched, and it's on my number one list, and I'm actually rewatching it right now, is Naruto, and I know it as well. And I feel like from my childhood, I already felt a really, really deep connection with Japanese culture, not only but culture in overall. And also, as I said before, like in our before talk, in our previous talk, that my light language, even like in my childhood, sounded a little bit Japanese when I started to speak in it, like just randomly, not thinking about language. And I feel that it's somehow connected with my deep, deep past, rooted past. So, and I also have like a ancestor lineage who are from Vladivostok, which is really near Japan, like just across the sea is Japan. So yeah, it's a really, really old ancestry I have there, but I do have, I do have, and it's been like in my heart for a really long time, and always watch anime movies or just series and everything. I just feel like feel like warmth here. I don't know why. Like it's been there always for a long, long time. And I always cry. I always like it always touches my heart more than even like movies, real movies or anything. I just feel like it's and even listening to Japanese music just makes me feel I don't understand the words that they are saying there, but it gets me emotional. I feel like I can cry. I feel like I can laugh. I feel like I can go crazy. And I do feel that I understand the frequency of what they're trying to tell in those songs, even though I'm not a professional still in Japanese language, but I'm learning.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Beautiful.
hope I answered your question.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that answer. You know, it's like someone listening to you, Anya, and your light language, your song, your word, like I'm sure they would say the same, you know? Like listening to you, they might not understand the language on on a literal level, but on a
Yes.
spiritual level, on an energetic level, on a frequency level, an emotional level, they can feel it, you know, and we can feel it. So
Oh,
it's powerful. It's powerful. It's powerful.
thank you so much. So it's not like a random connection because I believe that nothing in this world happens randomly. Everything happens for a purpose. And I do feel that for me, it wasn't just a trend. It was actually something coming deep from within. And the fact that I'm still into it, even though I'm 27 years old, and I was like, I just got into it, I was like 8, 10 years old. I think it does show something, you know, some signs that it might be connected with my past before this life, or yeah.
Wow, 27. You have your whole life ahead of you. You know, 27. You're a baby. 27. That's amazing. You know, when who is I would love to know more about Yumiko Aya. Yumiko Aya. Who is this?
Yeah. So Yumiko Aya was a character that I wanted to embody after I had an ayahuasca ceremony. So this was a character that was connected to a Japanese character, but it had like this aya kind of like ayahuasca pinch to it, like a spiritual pinch. And it literally, Yumi means gentle beauty, and Yumiko means arrow. So it means that it's like an arrow child who holds the arrow like that. And yes, yes. And Aya, I took from the mother ayahuasca, so I just really wanted to relate myself to it. But right now, I am in a process of changing my artist name. I know, like I've been changing them pretty a lot in my past. I just couldn't choose the right one. But right now, I feel the one that I'm gonna choose is gonna be in much balance with everything that I want to do with music and with art and overall, because I felt that my previous nicknames were really like telling like straightforward about me, everything, you know, or it was too harsh. Like Psylo Yumi was more about psychedelics. Yumiko Aya was more like about this ego depth, like spiritual evolution and spirituality. And right now, I feel that I really have to, take the middle, just the middle part of it, and be who am I truly, with my nickname. Because I really felt that I didn't feel much resonance with what I called myself, but I do feel that right now, the nickname that I'm going to come up with, and I already did that almost, but I'm not going to tell you. It's going to be a surprise. But it does include my name, which is Anya.
Okay.
So I feel that it's going to be staying forever. And you can't say you can't say that it's going to be forever, because this reality, this universe is infinite, but I feel it will stay really stable and it will stay for long, that I'm not going to be like this changeable because I really love to change my characters. I really love to dress up differently and play with different characters, but I know that in a way I will have to be stable because I just feel like stability is something that I kind of really want to adjust right now for me because I was going like this with different stuff, like with relationships, different experiences, with psychedelics, even. It's like a roller coaster,
Yeah.
and I want is my life to go like this right now.
Yeah, I would, there are times that I feel the same, with the water, my water sign, like riding the waves, really surfing. And you got that Aries fire, right? Like that fire that just, you can be just lit, with the flame burning and yearning for all of these things. So, just allowing that to unfold and allowing that to just show up in so many loving and so many unique ways. I love that you said that. Thank you for breaking that down because I wouldn't have known that. The arrow child of Mother Ayahuasca, you
Yeah.
know?
So much for asking me this because this is a really common topic in my head right now. That this nickname, the whole nickname change and the whole meaning behind the past, and it's really valuable that I can break it down right now, even not like just for you, but for myself as well. So thank you so much. And also, we had a question in the chat: where did I have the ayahuasca ceremony?
Mhm.
So it's well, ideally, I really wanted to have it in Peru, but it came to me in Latvia, so I did it in Latvia. I can't tell you the exact place because it's pretty illegal here to do that. So I would say that it was in Latvia and it was in my home country, and I feel really blessed that it happened here because this is the safest place for me to be in a state like that. And I'm really happy it didn't happen in Peru because it in some ways it was a pleasant experience, but it wasn't. And I feel that being in an environment where I don't know anything, like in complete jungle, which is completely different from the environment where I've been raised, would be pretty much like a bit crazy for me to digest everything. So I'm glad that it happened in my home country. And of course it happened with Shan from Brazil, but still, it's better for me. A little bit more sustainable to have this kind of a shift of reality after that.
Yeah. Yeah, a little less shaky, more sustainable. Like it makes sense, it makes sense that you would, have it in your homeland. And thank you for your honesty, thank you for your honesty because, yeah, I haven't had quite that kind of experience where my whole reality was shaken, my whole reality was taken, and then you are awakened, right? So that hasn't happened to me on that level. So for you to come away intact with all your faculties intact, with your spirit, your just everything about you, it's so new, but it's the same but different. Like you came away from it, but you're still who you are at your core. You're just new. I love that. I love that about you. Yeah.
so much. And what I can also relate about this experience that I feel that, for example, as a psychedelic, ayahuasca, it does, as my friends as well say, it does wear off. So it's not like you have it and you had like a complete awakening. You have it once or twice, even. Maybe some people need to have it like 5 times, you know. Some people don't need to have it at all. So it's not an essential for anyone. But if you have it, it does wear off, you know. It's like you do forget that experience through time, and you do forget it as you remember more as a dream like experience that you had. And the thoughts that I had after that experience, of course, it's completely different than what I would think right now, but it definitely did shape my thoughts
Mm.
from that perspective, because it was the most powerful experience I've ever had in my whole life. So it's kind of hard to forget it in a way, but at the same time it does wear off in a while. You know, you forget glimpses of something, glimpses of, yeah, so it does
Okay.
different throughout time passing by. I think when time will become a little bit even more like closer to like years will pass, I do will remember this as a dream.
Okay.
So yeah, who knows? I can't tell you anything. I don't know anything about the future, but as far as I've experienced right now, I do feel that I'm getting a bit more away from that mindset I used to have just after it. So yeah.
Okay. So there's an expiration date on the euphoria or the enlightenment. It has an expiration date.
I think it has, but I don't think it has for everyone. So I'm just explaining my own experience, how I do have it. Maybe I have it because it weared off for me because it just needed to wear off just for me, you know, so I can have the balance between the physical reality and the spiritual reality. So between these two worlds, because there are definitely, I feel that there is a higher power, that there is God who actually creates this reality by his thought, and we are just like the products of his reality, just like the organisms of different consciousness. The same consciousness, but we have like kind of like divided consciousness in between us. And I still feel that we, throughout this lifetime, we just explore that this God is like creating this, you know. And the more closer we come to our age, where we actually age and we're more closer to leaving our physical body, we kind of remember that,
Mm.
you know, that what happens truly. So
Hmm.
yeah. Mm.
Good explanation. Thank you for clarifying because it's something that's really not easy for most people to even put into words.
Oh,
And try and attempt to describe the indescribable is so like it blows your mind just thinking about it. Even if you've never had the experience, just to fathom someone else having that experience. Because I like what you said, Anya. You
mm,
said, these two worlds. It gives me a vision when you say these two worlds, like this physical world and the spiritual world.
mm.
There's an anime called Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I know that you enjoy that one as
Oh,
well. And they call Avatar, the bridge. They're the bridge between both worlds.
mhm.
So, are there any characters, or what would be a character in the Avatar that you really enjoy or speaks to you?
Um, hmm. I think Avatar himself
Okay,
does. And I kind of forgot his name, but the guy who was with Zuko, like the Zuko's,
Uncle
not the uncle. Yes, yes, yes. I
Iroh.
really do with him. He's one of my favorite characters as well. Like I really feel that he has like this silent wisdom. You know, he knows inside of him, but he's not showing it off.
Right.
And all of the situations. And he is like the observer from a side, and he's like, for example, something is happening in front of him, and he's like, oh, okay, 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 yeah, yeah. But he knows, yeah. That's what I was trying to say, that he's more of an observer, and I really enjoyed watching how he's just giving the right wisdom in the right moment, and it just give me shivers. And what about you? Who's the
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
for
I
you,
go,
and why? Who is your favorite character from that anime? Because I know that you also watched it, and I want to know why as well. It's your favorite one.
yeah. So likewise, I enjoy Uncle Iroh. You know, he's got that fire, but it's contained. You know,
Yeah.
he's one of the most powerful in the whole series, but no one knows it because he doesn't show it. Like you said, you know. So he's not boastful. He's not like out to prove anything. He doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. He's content. He's in a state of contentment, you know, in a state of like he's residing within his inner being. He's whole, he's complete. He doesn't have to go out of his way to, you know, to humble somebody else because he's already in humility. He's already humble, you know. He doesn't need to prove his point because it's already been proven, right? So I love Uncle Iroh for those bits of wisdom that he gives Zuko, and I took a lot of lessons from that show as well. I mean,
Mm.
just such wisdom that can be drawn from each element. You know, when you think about the elements of life, like you said, you have something in your bio that it's like living in accordance with the laws of nature. You
Oh, yeah.
you living.
You know,
Go ahead. What is,
it's really interesting because this was actually really connected to
mhm.
veganism. And I just felt that I don't want to label myself anymore as a vegan because it has been really hijacked these days, as you might already notice that. And a lot of different forces are kind of using it as commercializing it and making it as a trend, and just putting it into people's eyes, not what it truly is, because it truly is about following, in my opinion, following the laws of nature and just respecting all beings and being really ethical. It's more about the ethical reasons, and a little bit more also about following your designed lifestyle, because I do believe that humans as beings are designed to eat plants and mainly fruits. Even like in our autonomy, we can just easily diagnose that and say that it's like true. So yeah, that was my main reason why I did change that, because it was really related to veganism. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say that it's been kind of distorted or warped, where do you see in society, where do you see that veganism has been kind of flipped on its head for, you know, in a negative way?
All right. So let's start with the fact that there is so much junk food products in terms of vegan stuff in the shops, which I think it is a bit negative, because in a way that a lot of companies, they just for them to fulfill their money needs, they just create that, but they're not thinking about the person who's going to eat that, you know. They just put junk and chemicals into that product, just so the person who eats that, they want more of that product. And I feel that it's really not compassionate in a way for the people who actually buy it. And there are also a lot of people who transition into veganism, and they get nutritional deficiencies and different stuff by using also those products, because they think if it's vegan, then it's healthier. And it should be like the thought, if it's vegan, then it's healthier. Of course, it should be that thought in your mind. But you should be aware that a lot of people these days are actually using it to have the cash, you know, for themselves. So that's the first thing that really does not like irritate me, but I do feel that this if it changes, it would be a lot more amazing. And of course, it is a good thing because people who are transitioning, it's really good for them to have like ice cream alternatives, meat alternatives, and pizza alternatives, and like fast food alternatives. It's really cool. But I feel that a lot of vegans, especially, like I know a lot of my friends, they do abuse that, and I feel like they will have a nutritional deficiency if they keep on doing that because there's nothing good in that stuff. And yeah, and then people just hop off that path, hop off that journey because they just don't have the right information and the right products in the shelves in the supermarket. So yeah. That's the one thing. I'm still gonna think like about the other things, but yeah, this is the first thing that comes up into my mind. Maybe you can have like maybe you can tell me your opinion about it as well. What do you think about
Well,
it?
I've seen, fast food places. I've seen, just passing by, and even, they see them advertised on here. There's reels. There's one in particular that you brought to my mind, and it's actually called the Slutty Vegan. You ever heard the Slutty Vegan?
No, no, never heard of it.
There's a restaurant and it's called Slutty Vegan, and I guess it's like fast food options, but I guess they're saying they're technically vegan, but there's you got your imitation, or there's fries, and then there's imitation burgers, and then there's imitation bacon, and then there's imitation hot wings, and then there's imitation, all these imitations. They're mimicking the carnivore, like they're mimicking a meat diet, eating animals. You're not eating animals, but you think that you're eating animals, but you're not eating animals. So it's almost like the psychology of it kind of, kind of was brought to my awareness, and I was like, what are we really doing? So when you say that it can be abused, is that one of the ways that you feel like people can go into a deficiency through thinking that they are in abundance simply by flipping to what they feel is a vegan lifestyle, like when you say abused?
Hmm. Well, when I say abuse, I do think that people mostly think that it's healthier than eating animal products, eating like these alternatives, which are not that good. And I also feel that they can cause addictions because it is designed for you to have more, to want more. And this is where this abuse stuff is coming from. And especially if a person doesn't know the health risks and the kind of stuff that's in there, he's not aware of that. He just analyzes it by the front page of the packaging, doesn't look at the ingredients. Then it could be even more toxic, to have this. That's why I feel like when you think about veganism, the first thing is ethics, and the second thing is health, of course, and the designed lifestyle. But whole food vegans should be the first thing that comes into mind, not like all of these alternatives. Because these alternatives, as you said, like in that cafe, like in that fast food restaurant, they're still like uh, labeling, like they make it look like meat, and it doesn't make any sense for me as a person who actually also adopts the ethics of veganism. So for me, it wouldn't be even satisfying to eat that, knowing that it looks so much like meat and tastes so much like meat, because I'm naturally not designed to eat that, and I don't feel ethically that I even could. So yes.
So it wouldn't even be satisfying for you because it sounds like it would be damaging for your spirit.
Yes, yes, yes. Not just the nutritionally wise, yes, but also for my spirit, even like knowing the fact that it's like that. Because I think it also needs to psychologically change in your mind if you are shifting to this lifestyle, that it's not about having the alternative to it. Yeah, for some people, maybe it could be in the beginning when you transition, so it's a little bit more easy. But I think the main goal is to actually, uh, understand the connection between animals and humans and what they're meant, what we are meant here in this world, how we're meant to communicate. Are we meant to be friends or are we meant to be food for each other? Yes, for me, I think we're meant to be friends and to collaborate, in this reality. So, yeah, I think it's changing the mindset is even more important than just switching your diet. And if you do change your mindset, if you do understand the ethics, you don't feel the need to actually ingest certain alternatives.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Just thank you for that testimony because we even have down here, as you were speaking, in the comments,
Mm.
Nars, they say so many fake vegan skincare. There's labels about it being vegan, but ingredients is nothing vegan. I didn't even think about skincare. That's a whole nother level, you know?
Another level, yeah. And people are actually right now using different brands are just using this vegan label, but if you look a little bit deeper inside of what they're actually doing, and do they actually do animal testing, and is there like animal bits and pieces in their skin products, it's actually not like that. So yeah, I don't want to name any labels right now, but I do know that they exist and that putting this vegan label, it doesn't mean much anymore, that you have to look deeper inside of it and do your own research,
Mm.
literally. So yeah, I do agree with that fact.
Oh,
But the best thing is that you can actually make your own skincare, and you don't need to use anything from, chemicals, that you can be just healthy and eat healthy, have a healthy body, and your skin will reflect the same, and you won't need as much chemicals or buy products from labels or anything. Like, I know that in Korea it's really popular to have like all of this 9-step skincare. I've been myself there as well to like apply every day 9 products on your face in the morning and in the evening.
you've been there.
And I've been there, yes. I've done that, and I know that it gives you a difference, but at the same time, it feels like something is wrong. It doesn't have to be like that, because if we are in nature, we don't even think about the things like skincare.
Right.
We just eat what we're designed to eat, and we put mud on our face and clean our face with mud and with water. So that's all we need for our face. So I feel this is in the mind that we need certain things. It's because the society just pushed us to use certain things, even things like makeup.
Mm.
I know a lot of women use makeup for creativity, but I know you might know Freely, the banana girl. You don't? Okay. She has this really amazing book called My Naked Lunchbox, and talks in this book about the toxicity of makeup even for creativity, because creativity could be just one of the reasons and one of the kind of hidden reasons for a girl to hide her face features or hide something
Mm.
or become something like closer to the standard beauty. And I know that being creative, you can actually be creative in so many different ways rather than, just doing something with your face and knowing that it's unhealthy, knowing that you're putting a lot of chemicals on your face, etc., etc. Of course, if you make your own makeup, which is also one of my goals, that I'm going to make organic and homemade makeup and skincare for women. That's one of my things that I'm working on right now, just to have it as a ritual to just nourish yourself. But in other terms, like, there's nothing more you need than just natural things. And if you have a good diet, if you work on your body, if you actually care about yourself, taking care of what's going on here, then you will have good skin and you will have no need to put on makeup. You'll feel like you're glowing from outside, and you you will be noticed by people, and you can be creative in so many different ways. Your clothing, your art, your music, your everything. So
Yeah.
it's maybe for a lot of women, I would say like maybe 70% of women, it's their hidden reason, like a hidden thingy that they use. Like, I use it for creativity. This is my way of expressing myself, you know? But at the same time, I can feel from a lot of women that there are insecurities hiding behind that. And yeah, maybe
Mm.
a bit tangled in this, like a little bit too
No,
deep,
no.
but I hope it was resonative.
Yeah. I mean, not too deep. It's not too deep at all because, like you said, I mean, 70%. I mean, I'm not in that realm where I'm even aware of these things happening. So this is all enlightening for me to hear when you're talking about, finding that beauty inside and out, having it inside and then it's showing on the outside because it's all in the inside. When you were doing those 9 steps, you said it was 9 steps or the 9 makeup morning and evening. What was it? Nine what?
It was 9 step skincare routine in the morning and in the evening. So you would put 9 products on your face after you wake up, like you wash your face, then you put a serum, then you put an essence, then you put an eye cream, then you put a lip balm, then you put like a foundation and etc. It keeps on going, you know? So I was doing that, and I did feel like a nourishment from it in a way, because I was like just just devoting that time for myself, and it did took me a lot of time to do all of this. But that was, I think, the only benefit. I think my skin didn't get much benefit from those chemicals that I was using.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it was more, I think for me, it was more like devoting that time for myself, even though right now I can do it with natural products,
Mhm.
and get result even better for myself and for my skin. So yes,
Yeah.
that's your question
It
about it.
sounds like it takes quite a bit of time. I mean, I'm only assuming, but all those steps, after all those steps, a lot of time has gone in to kind of, putting a lot of things on you. So what do you feel like was your perception when you were in that phase of application? And then what was your perception when you kind of did away with that vibration?
Mhm. So my perception was mostly like I was remembering all of those K-pop idols and everyone I know that they do it and they actually are into this stuff, and they have really, really pure skin. Like you could literally not see a single pore in their skin, really young looking. And I've always wanted, to keep my youth as, you know, as long as I can. And I felt like Korean K-pop models and idols were like the perfect image for me to kind of have like an idol in a way. So yeah, mostly I was thinking about that when I was doing that. And of course, like I was thinking, oh, the technology, like it's so advanced right now. We know like how we can preserve ourselves. So in our 100 years, we look like we're 30. Like that was what was happening in my mind when I was actually doing all of that stuff. But through time, I noticed that it could be just a marketing trick. You have to be really skeptical about things like that, and about the people that are doing that and are showing off as role models. You don't know how they feel in their daily life, and you don't know what they do. You haven't seen their skin in real life, actually, because I haven't seen a Korean person. I think never I have seen a Korean person in real life. Never been in Korea, but you don't know how their facial expressions are. You don't know what filters they put in on the phone, you know. So I feel like it was a little delusion for me to do that, but at the same time, I was so obsessed with the look that I just did it. But through time, I understood that it's not what actually I need, and that different countries have also different climates and different uh, medicines and traditions, what they do, and it comes to the skin as well, like different care is also different, and something that works for Korean people and for Korean skin not work for your skin perfectly. So it's also a fact.
Yeah, yeah. Very true. You know, what you say hits home. It's very true that there are so many different perceptions and so many different reflections and so many different connections that we might even have with the concept of, beauty, Like you said, in different countries, there's different, there's different customs, traditions, cultures. Like I remember reading there's this book that I was reading, Tears of the Desert. It's by Halima Bashir, a woman in Sudan. And in different places, different tribes or different villages that she was in, they viewed scarring, like they would intentionally scar with like a blade or like they would carve when you were at a young age. They called it giving you your glasses. They would scar the women, and like you had a scar that was like a deep cut, and once it healed you would be scarred. And they said that those scarred women were beautiful. Like that was their concept of beauty. So that's how they saw beauty in that village, in that tribe. And they could see, oh, you're from Zagawa, okay, you're one of the Zagawa, like I can see your glasses. And then if you're from that area but you don't have any scars, they would ask you, like, where are your glasses? Like where are your scars? Like, what's going on? Like, are you from where I'm from? So that would be kind of how they would identify each other. But it was also the concept of beauty. So when it comes to the concept of beauty, since it's so widely, the idea of perfection, what does it mean for you when you think of your internal beauty, your outer beauty, like your beauty as who you are, who Anya is?
That's a wonderful question. Wow. And I actually wanted to give a shout out to Nabiha.
Nabiha,
Ye-
yeah.
Yes, I actually agree 100% that they're experts in skincare because they have been experiencing a lot of technological progress in terms of skincare and developing different products. And I do believe that it actually works for some people, but for me, I think it was just an obsession personally. So I feel that for my face, different natural things and different things that I made myself work a lot more better than actually Korean stuff. Even though I really love Korean culture and K-pop and I love how they look, I just feel like my personal stuff that I made for myself and actually also the products that I'm using right now are a little bit working better for me. So, and answering your question about the beauty, what is beauty for me? What is my beauty within myself? I think that, as I already mentioned, it's taking care of your body, first of all, eating good, sleeping good, having exercise. The best makeup that I can have during the day is sweat because sweating makes me detox, and after a detox, I feel glowing. And I feel that my skin is also saying thank you to me that every time when I'm sweating, this is like my number one beauty secret. Sweat at least once a day. So your pores get the or fluids get to regenerate inside of you. You get the waste water, the wastewater outside of you that you don't need. And yes, that's my number one thing. And I also think that um, being in a good relationship with yourself and speaking with yourself in the mirror also gives me like my beauty to flourish throughout other people, because I feel like conversations with yourself and looking a little bit deeper inside of the emotional aspect of yourself with your spirit is really, really important to kind of digest the side of you. And it also encourages you to, be a little bit more confident. And as we all know, that confidence is one of the most beautiful things that you can already notice, like in a human being. You can see that a girl is confident, a girl is glowing. So I think it's also a really important aspect to have this emotional balance inside of yourself. For me, like having conversations with myself in the mirror can be really creepy, but at the same time, really nourishing and really helpful. And of course, yeah, just not lying to yourself, being true to yourself, being true with other people. But first of all, with yourself, of course, because if you're not, then you can't be true with other people as well.
Right, right.
That's like how I would spread through people, and these are like my bullet points, which I need to look into if I don't feel like externally beautiful. So I get done with those things and I feel like I'm glowing.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that self-honesty, telling yourself the truth, speaking kind words to yourself, speaking to yourself like someone you love, you know,
Yeah.
speaking to yourself, yeah, like enjoying your own company. I love how you said, Anya, that, it's like that perspiration is the best foundation. The perspiration is that's the best foundation, the best application is breaking a sweat every day. And then you said, like, confidence is the greatest cosmetic. It's like you're confident, you know?
Yes, because when you are confident and you come into the room, everyone can feel that. It's the first thing that they can feel is your confidence, your motivation, it's already like it makes other people feel your character and the strength of that character, dedication, and that's really beautiful. It makes you not only stand out with your energy, it also makes people inspired.
Yeah, yeah. You're inspiring so many, so many. I love it. I love it. And, this whole conversation has been inspiring. Like, I've learned a lot just by talking to you. And this was only our second talk,
Yeah,
you know?
second talk. How much talks are we gonna have in the future? And where are we gonna go after that? I don't know, but I feel it's a good place.
Yes, it's a great place, and we can go anywhere. If you do still like at this moment, are you still giving those offerings for people who want your sound healings and for people who want to tune in that wave, that vibration?
What do you mean by offerings?
Yeah, so in your link in the bio for Yumiko Aya, I know you're changing your name, but it still has like that offerings for people who want to join or for people who want to tune into your frequency. Do you still offer that for people?
Yes, I do offer that for people, and I'll say more if someone wants to book a session with me online, or it's my God service and I'm gonna give it for free, or I don't know, like a small donation depends on you. If you want to help me, then I'm not gonna, regret, not regret, but how you say that word? Sorry, there's four languages spinning in my head. That's why I can't remember everything in English. But yeah, I'm not going to refuse that. Yes, I'm not going to refuse that. And as well, I'm planning on making a little update. So I'm going to make lives on YouTube because I have a little upgrade in the gear and I can do that. so I'll do that. And this is going to be one of my upgrades that I'm going to experience on my YouTube channel really, really soon.
Aw- Awesome. Well, we look forward to it. The way that you said that just now, you remind me, you're like Nabiha. Nabiha, she knows like 8 languages, like 10 languages. So there's when she's talking, I forget that English is not even your first language, and you communicate beautifully. Like you express yourself eloquently, and this is not even your first language. So I love that. I respect that. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
my by the way is Russian. I feel most myself communicating in Russian, but I do feel that in different language I have completely different character and the ways I communicate also different. So yeah, but Russian is like
Okay. Okay. It's got your heart. Russian is always gonna have it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, спасибо. Спасибо.
but woo! But
Yes, that's beautiful.
by the way, ask you one more question just before everything ends, or yeah, do you like watch anime often, and what is your favorite? Because I really love this topic for myself. It's one of the most common things that I'm doing right now. So it would be really nice to know your opinion.
Yeah. So lately, not at the moment. Lately, I have been more in the books. So I read a lot. I read a lot of science fiction. I read a lot of fantasy. I read a lot of books. But with anime, oh my goodness, how many years? For so many years, I was watching Dragon Ball Z, Naruto. I know there was Bleach was one of them. One Piece. Let me see, what's another? Cowboy Bebop was one of my favorite ones. Samurai Champloo is still my top. Samurai Champloo, that's my top of all time. Nothing for me, nothing has ever come close in my heart for Samurai Champloo. And it was only one series. There weren't multiple seasons. It was just one, and it was done. It was just one and done. And they
Wow.
up so I could go back any day. I think it might still be on Netflix if I reinstalled Netflix on my phone. I could go back anytime and watch that whole series again from start to finish because it has that much of a place in my heart. Of course, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and yeah, those series, those are really really high up there. But I mean, it's something about anime, like you said in the beginning. It
Mhm.
just really pierces and penetrates places inside you that some other traditional live action films or movies with actual people, it doesn't do that on that level. The voice acting, the artistry, the illustrations, the way that these were characters that somebody drew on a page. Somebody drew this, and it brought it to life. They have a life of their own. They have emotions, they have feelings, and it gets into yours. It gets into you, like it gets its claws into you. It makes you invested in this character, what they have to overcome, what they have to accomplish, what they have to achieve, the trials, the tribulations, the stuff that they have to break through to achieve whatever is their level of greatness. Whatever, it inspires you. And I think if you have to be inspired by somebody who was an actual person throughout history, or a biography, or that, it's okay to be inspired by people who actually lived in this reality, but you can draw so much inspiration from that animation, from animation. So yeah, I think if you discredit that, you're doing yourself a disservice, because that can give you a whole wellspring of fire, within you. Yeah.
Wow, I'm having a completely new perspective towards anime right now after your words. Damn. Wow, thank you for opening this portal, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna watch it with a feeling of proudness right now, honestly. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna look into your favorite anime, Samurai
Samurai
Jam
Champloo. Yeah,
Jam.
Samurai Champloo. Hmm.
I'm gonna do that, and I've honestly never heard about it, and I'm really actually catched you in there. Like, what was that thing?
Yeah, so it was just 3 characters. There was Mugen, there was Jin, and Fu. So two samurai gentlemen, and then there was a female character, and she was with them. And all three of them are just on this journey, just on this life quest to find the samurai that smells of sunflowers. It's some connection for her, this samurai. I don't want to spoil it for you, but she's just looking for some samurai that smells of sunflowers. And so they agreed to help her on this quest. And all three of them, they don't even really like each other. Like they don't even really, but they're just agreeing to be with each other for some other reason that I don't want to spoil. But they're on this journey together, and the stuff that they go up against, and the ways that they work together, the ways that they harmonize, and just utilize their abilities, they play off of each other. It was brilliant. It was brilliant, and the music was hip hop. It was like samurai mixed with hip hop, rap. It was like beatboxing. There was just a lot of elements of hip hop throughout this journey with these samurai. So I had never seen it done before. It kind of just blew me away. But all the underlining themes and the elements of it really helped me hone in, and it made me want to do more in life. It made me want to excel. It made me want to be more focused, more concentrated, and just to see where that brings me, to see where that takes me in life. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What I love about anime that the main characters usually they're so like the depth of that character is so deep. They maybe are not so connecting physically characters like in Naruto as well, they're like maybe touching hands maybe once in a lifetime, but the depth of their thoughts and their loyalty and their dedication and their motivation honestly inspires so much in my reality for me to accomplish different things and to even like finish something that I've started, like my projects. If I get into a Naruto mindset in my head, then I'll finish it 2 times quicker than I would finish it without that. So
Right.
I
Right.
think you're saying here, yeah.
Yeah, because Naruto's got that headstrong, like he's gonna make it happen. He's gonna find a way. Even if he doesn't know how he's gonna do it, he just knows he's gonna do it. You know, he's gonna find like whatever comes, like he's gonna find a way to blow through the opposition. And I mean, Itachi was one of my favorite characters,
Like,
but there was so much. Yeah, just the love that he had for Sasuke, you never knew it just off of off of first appearances. You would think that they have it out for each other. But like you said, when you find the underlining motivations behind everything, you're like, oh my gosh, he did this whole thing for all of that for him. Like what? So it's just on a whole nother level when you see that there's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers for every character and for us as well. Yeah.
yeah, but the truth is that in real life, um, like people are so far of that loyalty, far of that, that you can, I don't know how to say it, but people are so quickly changing their thoughts and quickly like changing everything and just spreading everything like that, throughout their mouths, that they don't have this loyalty anymore. They don't have this dedication, this motivation, this kind of I don't even know the word for it, this like feeling that you like with Sasuke and Itachi, yeah, for example, that Itachi kept playing the game until he died, you know? It's like that deep. For us right now, I can't imagine anyone doing that. But maybe in our past, there were people who are actually, so loyal to their truth, to their love, to their trust, to, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So to be able to have that, to be able to have that level of loyalty and bring it into this reality, like, I mean, Jesus, that could change everything. Change everything.
So much. And honestly, I think that a lot of people, they are just playing it hard for me, but just, you know, just saying things that are not needed. I think maybe in the future will not even have words, or we will use words so wisely that that word means not only one word but a whole pattern of emotions, you know, that we'll be really, really careful in what we speak, because we know speaking for the sake of speaking, filling up the void, you know, the gap in the conversation. There's so much things like that happening in this reality. And I feel that we'll become a little bit more aware about the things we speak, uh, and because of that, our words will become less and less, but more valuable.
Right. Yeah. Maybe we'll all use light language, you know? Yeah.
I using my language all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really sorry, my phone
No
getting up. I needed to charge it.
worries. Much love, Anya. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for this.
Thank you so much as well. I feel like every time I talk with you, I get to know myself 10 levels upgraded. So I'm really grateful that you are this person who questions me and questions things in this reality, and keep on questioning, because this is what we're here for, you know, to learn and to experience the depth of this reality, and understanding that it's infinitely learning. It's not like you can know everything, because you can't know everything. It's impossible. And I'm really grateful of you being in presence in this universe, in this reality with me, and physically that we found each other and got to connect so far.
Likewise. Likewise. Wow. Wow. Till the next episode.
Dude. And I think for the next episode, we could actually, I think it could be really fun to have like a topic that we discuss, and to bring up some interesting, to go in depth into this topic, you know. I think that could be really, like really fun and fascinating to explore.
Yes. Yes. Let's do it.
Let's
Let's do it.
do it. Yeah, thank you.
Well, take care. Take care. Much love,
From my take care.
Danya. Take care.